I remember when I graduated from business school and I looked at my classmates and I said, wow, I'm assuming they're all making a lot of money. And I felt like, oh, I went into nonprofit. I made $8,000 my first year after graduating from business school. And I knew it, right? I was doing work that was charitably focused, not on
Hmm.
profit. But I still felt like, hey, maybe it wasn't the best investment because I have all this debt. And I was comparing myself to a lot of my classmates and thinking, oh, I'm the poorest one in the class and all that.
Hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, with apartment syndication, now all of a sudden with apartment syndication, that's actually a benefit to me, right? Hey, I can
Hmm.
help these people who have done good work and they've grown in their careers, and now I can help them to succeed even more. And now
Yeah.
I'm in a position where same thing even with in that room of apartment investors when I go to a conference, that
Hmm.
collaborative environment of saying, hey, just because that person's more experienced than me, I'm not competitive anymore. Now it's, hey,
Yes.
maybe I can help them. Maybe I can
Yeah.
find ways of exposing them to something, to another community with my podcast or with
Yep.
just any way that I can say. And that's another big takeaway is that if you're in a cubicle, if you're finding ways to break in, is to get really creative about finding ways to add value to people who are doing better than you, because it's a
Yes.
challenge. And I'm sure you'll
Yes.
agree,
Hmm.
you're steps ahead of me, but I'm sure
Hmm.
there's people who are even more steps ahead of you. And
Totally. Totally.
the better we are at adding value to people who don't really need our help, the better, right? They
Surely.
and
We grow with them. Exactly.
exactly.
Exactly. The mind, the body, I mean, everything. And also the avenues, the diversifications is the big one, right, in my mind, because all these shifts in the multifamily and the over saturation and pricing, now the prices will be kind of downward trend will be coming and all that. But you're right, diversifying also is a big thing into storage units, into mobile home parks. Some people have done that, right? I've gone into hotels in my case
Mhm.
and senior assisted living, ground up and others and some other avenues in metaverse and Bitcoin mining and all that stuff also. So it's good to diversify. But let's get back to, I'm so happy. What you're saying is with the having passion to help all these great investors, accredited or non accredited investors, to really see through education where they could really take their money from down from the pillow or from very low interest in interest and dividends or stock market to different diversified portfolio. So that's, and mostly multifamily then you talk about, or do you talk about other things too?
Yeah, on our show, Screw the Stock Market, we have kind of a pyramid of content. So first and most
Okay.
important, I'm sure you'll agree, is mindset. Is
Yep.
what's the
Yep.
kind of thinking that we have to talk about? Who do we have to become before we can start
Hmm.
to become the successful investor that we want to be? Then we'll have another
Yes.
section of episodes where we talk about the toolbox, things like these self-directed IRAs or the solo
Hmm.
401ks, ways of unlocking
Hmm.
the capital that we have already
Hmm.
and being able
Hmm.
to unleash it into our third pyramid, which is the different asset classes. And there we do talk about multifamily. We talk about notes. We've had episodes about acquisition of businesses, right? I think that's one of the
Yes.
big ones
Yes.
that's very exciting these days with
Yes.
so many people retiring and the generation of baby boomers.
Hmm.
Essentially, a lot of them are either closing up their shops and um, and there's a big opportunity there to acquire profitable established businesses.
Businesses. I love that. I love that. Somebody just mentioned, I think just last 1 month or so, laundromats, in certain communities, running those. Even somebody said about gas stations is another one, even though, gas prices have gone, high, but it's the convenience store part of the business which brings what other businesses. I know this is kind of different. I don't talk about it on my podcast, but
Oh, good.
share with us, yeah, share
Yeah,
with us
we've had. I
what
mean, you
kind of
mentioned
business.
Bitcoin mining. We've had
Mm-hmm.
a series of guests talk about different crypto strategies and different
Mm-hmm.
um, lessons from crypto which have been interesting. And you know what? We've even had one or two guests who've come on and talked about stocks. And what's interesting is
Ah,
our show is called Screw the Stock Market, but
yeah.
they were still very much in alignment because even within stocks, there's people who have different strategies that are kind
Hmm.
of out of the ordinary of
Yeah.
what maybe, putting your money in a 401k and forgetting about it for the next 30 years. There's a bunch of different
Mhm.
groups of people who really still believe in empowering the retail investor to be able to
Sure.
make their own decisions and take control of their
Sure.
finances.
Sure.
And so,
Sure. Definitely.
when I talk about screw the stock market, I really try to like, instead of really focusing on
Hi, you are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Vinney Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9:30 Pacific with Vinney and Bo show. Please also look at that, and also the podcast, which is my apartment syndication made easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you.
instead of really focusing on maybe the quantitative reasons why it's not the best investment. And I say it with a lot of humility, right? It's a
Hmm.
marketing name to
Yeah.
just kind of stand out.
Yes.
But also, I mean, I
Yeah.
recognize that there's people who've made a fortune in the stock market, and that's great. Good for them. But for me, the real message I focus on is, what is the message that the Wall Street is sending us? And the real message is
Hmm.
essentially, you're too dumb to manage your money. Trust it. Trust
Hmm.
us with it, right? And that's really the message I really believe that we're fighting is, hey, you are capable of making intelligent decisions if you had good information and if you had a
Totally.
community around you, and
Hmm.
you can bring opportunities and resources that can help you grow beyond what you can do in just the stock market if you really unleash that. And so that's really the
I
message
love
that I'm
that.
focused on.
Love it, love it, love it. I'm sure you are also talking about. I'm so glad you're talking about stock market. When you lose millions or 100,000, you can only take 3,000 negative, right, on the taxes. If it's
Hmm.
still 3,000, I think. But the thing is, with the real estate, even with limited partnerships, 70-30 split or 80-20 split, which a lot of us syndicators are doing now. So that cost segregation loss, which is a paper loss, can be taken on your, passive income. I mean, if you have other passive incomes coming, unless you're a real estate professional, you could take it to active side of the income, but that is something doesn't come with the stock market, right?
Oh, it's huge.
So yeah, it's
And the
huge. Yeah.
leverage. And I mean, one
Yeah.
of the things when I first started doing this, I thought that I was going to have all of my realtor buddies who are real estate professionals investing in my
Hmm.
deals, thinking, hey, this is a no brainer. You're making, some of these guys are making $500,000 a year
Yep.
and paying
Yep.
crazy amounts of taxes. And
Yeah.
wouldn't it be great to put a little bit into one of these syndications and get yourself a huge tax cut? And so
Totally.
far, I haven't had much luck with realtors investing. I think for the most part, realtors might be focused on maybe finding their own deals or whatever that may be.
Sure.
And that's okay.
Hmm.
But I think it's a great opportunity that any realtor needs to be aware of, even if you do it on your own,
Sure.
right? And so, yeah, I
Yes,
mean, the
totally.
benefits of syndication, the depreciation, and again, we have a few more months right now before this 100% bonus depreciation
Yes,
goes
bonus
away.
depreciation.
And
Yep,
that's going to
yep, yep.
be, it'll be a little bit less, but it is still going to be a great opportunity even next year, even after it's going to go down to 80%. Is that correct?
Yeah, 80 next year, then 60 the year after, then 40, unless the, new government comes, Republicans like that, and then it might go revert back. We don't know. But at
Mhm.
this time, 2022, it's 100% of the 5 year and 15 year, you could take it as a bonus depreciation. And any dime you spend in renovations, everything is deductible in this year. Yeah, every dime. So, no, that's exciting. What great nuggets. I hope, guys, you were able to really enjoy these conversations with, Alex. It's such a great to have you. How can people reach you? Yeah.
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to find me there. But I think the best place for people to go is to visit our website at legadoinvest.com/Chopra. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
have a landing page there for your audience, where we're going to have a report for them that just kind of covers some of the takeaways that we've taken from our interviews over the last several months, focused
All
on the
right.
mindset to be able to become the best investor and to be able to start growing our
Oh,
wealth.
how nice. How nice. Very nice. Very nice. Again, they'll be in the show notes down below, guys. Everybody who's watching on the television, on the YouTube and also all over the channels. Please remember, if you like this episode, share it with your friends, your people who can really benefit. Give us 5-star reviews, 5-star, subscribe to our channels, because the more you give us, 5-star and written reviews, that helps a lot in the metrics and everything. So thank you so much for joining today. Thank you, Alex. It's such a pleasure to have you, brother. And God bless you, and keep pushing the good knowledge to the all kind of investors. A lot of seniors now, 10,000 baby boomers turning into 65 and above. They all need you, to educate them, and, screw that stock market. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
So
please
please
feel free to.
follow,
Yes.
yeah, Alex also, please follow him, and subscribe to his channels and learn and share. Thank you so much. Again, this is a Syndication Made Easy, Apartment Syndication Made Easy show with Vinney Chopra. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you again, for joining Vinney Chopra this week on this podcast. And please subscribe, share, give comments, and give 5-star rating if you can on iTunes, because that really helps a lot for us to bring great guests. And also, iTunes raises our rankings up. And I hope you have been very happy with Vinney Chopra and team, who are able to bring great information. If you'd like to invest with us, please go ahead and go to vinneychopra.com/invest. Thanks again. God bless you.